Game number 1, Infernal Shrines, everybody. It is the final match of Group B. We have Team UK going up against Team Germany. The Nations Cup therefore continues. 28 teams signed up for the Nations Cup, representing 17 countries. Now, a quick reminder that this was an open sign-up, so anybody that wanted could form a team. So we have a big skill discrepancy between some teams in the groups. That's typical when we have a big tournament like this with this many teams signing up. And obviously we also have seeding here. The first seed in Group B was Team France, and they already secured themselves the first spot in the group and will therefore advance to the next round of the tournament. This match, on the other hand, is going to be an absolute highlight because both Team UK and Team Germany can still make it out of the group theoretically, but they have to win here. We have 7 groups in total. First seed out of each group makes it into the next round. That's 7 teams advancing, but we have in the next group 8 teams, which means that the second seed out of every group has another chance in the last chance qualifier to advance as well. So if you want to get that opportunity, you need to take that second spot in the group, and that's what the two here are currently fighting for. If UK wins, they are second place. If the Germans make it, then they take it. So we'll see who is able to be successful here. Johanna has a first pick on Infernal Shrines. My bad, we're actually not on Haunted Mines here. This is Infernal Shrines that we're heading into our first map. Haunted Mines was actually the map that the Swedes took the entire time and claimed over and over again. But yeah, it's Infernal, and that makes obviously Johanna also an absolutely spectacular pick here. Tyrael Junkrat for Team UK. That really good showing too. I think this is going to be a close series between the two teams here. It's going to be nice. We have one draft rule. Every single hero can only be played once within the series. So after game number 1, the 10 heroes that are played on the first map cannot be picked again for the remaining matches. But that's going to be a highlight here. I honestly have no idea who's going to take this. We've seen great games from both sides. The UK team actually surprised me a little bit in how well they performed. Also when they went up against the French. They lost in the end, but they had a great showing there too. So I expect some pretty aggressive games from both of them, given past performances. And yeah, we'll see who's going to take it. Bit of a rivalry going on there, of course, as well. Games in the Nations Cup, they have been honestly a blast. Either super funny or insanely close, and this is only accounting for the early rounds. When we are looking at Group 2 or then the final bracket, it's going to become even more wild. And there's a lot on the line, of course. $10,000 of prize money on the line in this tournament, and this is one of the reasons why it's the absolute highlight of 2026, at least so far. Big tournament that a lot of the teams brought players back. I mean, Sweden 1, for example, has Whoopi, Breeze, and a couple of other really familiar names in them. If you see, by the way, a team that has a number behind it, it means that multiple teams from that country signed up for the tournament, and the number represents the seed. So UK 1 is the first seed from the UK. Germany 2 means that they are, at least on paper, perceived to be the second strongest team from the German teams that signed up for the event here. And we'll see how they do. We get Sylvanas here on Infernal Shrines. And our final pick, a little bit more damage needed. They go for Hanzo. So Sylvanas, Hanzo for the final damage over here. And then over on the left side, after the front line has been established with Tyrael and Yrel. They only have Junkrat as range damage right now. Could go also into a triple front line given things here, but that means they would go up against Johanna and Blaze with Condemn into a jet propulsion, and Blessed Shield always a bit tricky, so they decide in favor of Tracer. And that brings us straight into game number 1. Ladies and gentlemen, the final match in Group B, we have Germany going up against the UK. The blue team, over on the left, Cascan on Tyrael. For the UK, we have Vented Sun on Yrel, Cine on Tracer, Coffee on Junkrat, and Devsh is playing Brightwing. Way over on the right side for Team Germany, we currently have Sereni on Hanzo, Dexan on Johanna, Shaq is playing Rhaegar for the red team, Theoden on Sylvanas, and then the Evil on Blaze. Both of the teams with pretty good games in the group, but this is what it all comes down to. Each one of them won one of their matches. Both of them defeated Sweden. Both of them lost against the French. And now it's just a question of who can secure that second spot in the group and have at least another chance to advance in the tournament. So, we'll see how this is going to work out for them. Obviously, when it comes to Sylvanas, we have the Pinnacle reward on level 1 with the black arrows here, so we're going to see Tiernan try and get stacks in. Top lane, as expected, Blaze and Urel are already playing it out right there. And it's actually a bit of a tame start into this. Nobody even wanted to go for the big fight in the middle or commit too hard here. There's a lot on the line for the two teams, so it's understandable that they're taking a bit easier. We have actually seen very little of Tracer in this tournament so far, so good pick that we're seeing on the side of Team UK now. Each team, actually only the blue team has so far taken a mercenary camp, so they are doing a bit better, just getting overall control on the lane and experience. The German team has opted for the bottom camp first, took the neutral one, and will very likely now walk away with the second over on the right side, unless of course we have an aggressive invade from the UK boys. But to be honest, that's more what the Germans are known for. So I don't really think that we have anything that's happening over there. And so far that's actually been proven true. Now, UK is still busy on the lanes with the rotation between the bot and the mid lane. But up at the top, Evil gets some added... There's a little bit more time and space over on the lane, but he's now getting attacked by Tracer too. That shouldn't really result in a kill, but he gets fully body blocked here, and this actually makes matters worse. The jet propulsion was pretty good, but he tried to somehow squeeze through, and that didn't really work out for him. So, yeah, Blaze still alive, but Tracer is of course going to try and pull that move off a bit more often. Just moving towards the top, trying to put pressure onto the side laner, and they are putting an enormous amount of pressure on Jojo in the middle. Yeah, forcing the Iron Skin. And Dexan is able to get out. No kills so far. 2 minutes in. Nobody has been able to get a kill just yet. Urel is taking care of the top lane again. And yeah, it's all gonna come down to the first objective, I suppose. I expected them to be a bit more aggressive right from the start, but to be honest, I mean, I understand why they're playing this a bit safer right now, just putting their toe in the water and see what exactly is going on here. It's like very, very calm, not trying to be too aggressive. They don't want to commit too much. Means that we're going to have very much a big fight happening over the shrine from the looks of it. And the blue team tries to get into position early over here. Each team, of course, going for their shaman camp. Seems like nobody is sticking around at the top lane to boost the camp a bit further and try and move it forward towards the fort wall. Tracer still getting added damage in. Blaze at the bottom of the map. Level 7 talents would be nice, but nobody's going to get them anytime soon. And here comes the play now. No kill thus far. This could change here. Tyrael with the shield, dropping it out again, but Blaze comes through with the jet propulsion. Urel jumping in, creating some space for them. Both of the teams very, very close when it comes to shrine minions. Blue team with the damage from outside, especially again with Junkrat, of course. But here comes the engage. Blaze is looking for the connect. Tracer is low. The entire blue team is low, but they're looking for the kill. They want Sylvanas, and they get her. The big hit from Urel. The GOAT is able to get the kill. That's first blood in the game. Germany loses out on the first objective from the looks of it. They were very, very close. Had even a bit of a lead over the blue team, but it is an Arcane Punisher for Team UK. They start to take the lead here and can now push through the middle and hope to take down that fort, of course. Or at least damage it significantly. Both teams with level 7 talents. For Tyrael, that means we get the Swift Retribution. And on the other side, we're getting the Grounded Totem for Rhaegar and Conviction for Jojo. A bit of an easy engage and disengage as she's coming in with that. Easy defense, losing the wall, not much more than that. So for Germany, this was a very solid move in the mid lane. They lost out on the objective, but they didn't lose out on structures too much. Only the wall has been destroyed. And now it's all about resetting, stabilizing a bit, and look forward to the next fight here and try and dominate that. And it was close. Blue team was pretty low in HP too, but they sustained themselves a bit better through the fight and were able to get that first kill. Now Tracer, as we talked about the entire time, is just pushing the sides and is always hoping to just work a bit of damage in. Just be annoying. Be that Nexus mosquito that she is and just buzz around bzz, 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 and get some damage in. And then at some point when you have just worn them down a little bit. You do your thing. Jet propulsion plays are always shutting those ganks out. They're always just in the same spot and allow Blaze to stun out both of them. If they can avoid that from happening, there might be a better shot for the blue team to get another kill at the top. Camps claimed. Experience still fairly even between the two teams so far. Not the most stacks for Sylvanas yet, but she's sitting at 33 stacks for now. And is bursting those waves down. The first reward obviously at 250. And that's usually achieved by very aggressively pushing on lanes too. So if they get the objective, and again, same thing. Both of them at the same spot get stunned out right away. This time there are some friends in play that can help Blaze out, but they are not able to get a kill. Tyrael goes for the more defensive option now with his ult choice. No quick judgment plays to try and get a kill, but we get Sanctification instead, which of course is catering to the map very well too. Wailing Arrow for Sylvanas. So we got the double arrow plays with Hanzo and Sylvanas trying to chain those a little bit, I suppose. And then Blessed Shield, Jet Propulsion for additional CC from the red team. The Germans. Everybody just waiting for the objective to pop out as top is getting pressured once more by 2 players from Team UK and Blaze is holding on to it. In experience again, very, very close, both of the teams. Nobody has taken a big lead on anything just yet. Pleb Horse for coffee, by the way. Junkrat. And, yeah, Urel on the side. But here comes the objective. And this time we're talking Frozen Punisher. So, this is going to be one of the bigger ones. And especially if Sylvanas can push with that bad boy, that would essentially guarantee structural damage. Of course, the camps at the top left and top right are getting taken once again. It's exactly what you want here. Trying to get top lane pressure. Blaze is working on the next minion wave and could maybe even damage this one. But the action is already starting to heat up towards the middle and the blue team has taken control of the shrine initially and is starting to take the lead here. So this is the opportunity for Team UK to walk away with a second Punisher with 2 in a row. The Germans trying to shut that down. Both of the teams active on the shrine. Once again, Urel sitting at the side here, waiting for an opportunity to threaten Rhaegar, of course, too. Coming in from behind, getting the hit, getting the stun. Tyrael is here as well. Ult so far not YOLO'd out yet, with a few exceptions. The bunker in play. And we also had Jojo go for her own stun. Some CC tools have been used. Ancestral Healing comes through once again. Super close. Condemn in the choke point. Quest completed for Johanna. A massive move here. Big play from the Germans. But what a great sanctification here for Tyrael. As Cascon keeps the team in play. Again, the condemn from Johanna. But we have a kill against Hanzo in the backline. An explosion as Trace is looking for the next kill. Trying to take Jojo down. Here comes Urel. And Jojo gets murdered. It's a kill. Top side Urel. She gets attacked too. Jet propulsion and Sylvanas damage. But it's not enough. It's another Punisher for Team UK. They are able to come in here with a Frozen Punisher. Destroy the wall in seconds. And force the Germans back. 3 kills to 1 now. Great play here from Team UK. Huge fight. Fantastic use by the ult on Tyrael's end as well. His sanctification was absolutely on point here and allowed the team to sustain themselves for much longer. Blaze waited it out, used the jet propulsion afterwards, and Jojo and the rest were able to get at least 1 kill, but this is still tough going for the Germans. The defense is solid. They again don't lose a fort, but it drops down to 50% of its HP. Now Johanna completing her level 4, that is a big one. That's a huge slow that they now have here. And this could be helpful for the next big choke point fights. So let's see how much they can build on that. There is an advantage in experience now that is slowly being edged out by the blue team though. They are starting to advance here. And they're doing a great job with it. So right now, next attacks are already coming in. We're having level 14.5 here. Bit of a pressure through the mid lane. Urel again with that flank, trying to isolate them for a kill. Fantastic Ancestral. Wailing Arrow comes out. Sylvanas needs to retreat too. And they're all just disengaging here. But that was a fantastic move by Rhaegar. It was clutch, but he saved the day for Sylvanas there. But it is the UK that is pressuring. They are the ones making the big moves right now. And you can tell that it is a bit difficult for Germany to really make their plays here. So down at the bottom of the map, we're now looking at the Germans, again defending another fort. Blaze is the one rotating between the lanes the most for now. But it's level 16 that could be a threat to the red team. Once at level 16... Oh, nice arrow! Ah, but no follow-up there. Tracer actually not... She didn't see the arrow and essentially moved into it. If they had another tool that they could have used afterwards, this might have been dangerous. But this way, she just immediately used the mobility to get out. Could have been a tough moment, though. But level 16 is now coming through for the blue team in just a moment. The next shrine is spawning at the top. Oh, Junkrat! Oh, Sanctification is out. Great play by the Germans, but an even better reaction from the UK team. And it keeps Junkrat alive. Seems like nobody's gonna... Well, is the evil gonna get out? Holy Ground is stopping him. Is forced to use the bunker again, but is eventually able to make it out of the fight. But that was well done. That was a great play for Junkrat at first as he moved in. The Blessed Shield and then the follow-up. But the reaction was perfect. That Sanctification saving Junkrat here was big for the blue team. Now we have the next objective coming up. This is Punisher number 3 that the teams are now fighting for. And, well, Team Germany, they're locking in level 16. But if this is going to be another victory for the blue team, it's going to start to become a little bit tough for the boys on the right side of the map. So this is one that matters quite a bit. On 16 we get the Holy Renewal, and we now also have the Earth Grasp Totem. So a lot of good tools for the Germans with the CC that they're using here. Is it going to be enough to break through the defense of the UK team? That's the big question right now. Because so far the blue team has done a fantastic job. Again, the attack here against Junkrat. He's the one that they're worried about the most, the top damage dealer on the blue team side. On the objective, we already have an advantage for the blue team. They've pulled ahead a little bit. The Germans are trying to negate that advantage. Moving in right now. Here comes the Riptire. Yep. Next attack is out. Sanctification is still up and can be used. Bunker. And the kill on Rhaegar. The Ancestral a moment too late. They're trying to go for Blaze, who just moves out barely. Jojo is on the run, but she is running out of ground too quickly. Another kill for the blue team. Team UK, 5 kills to 1. Another fight that they decide in their favor, and another Punisher that they're going to be able to take. More than a half-level lead now for the blue team, and they're looking great in game number 1 of this series. Bot lane pressure. Blaze is trying to get some value for the team, but Urel already has his number. Came in and pushed him back. Whereas top side, it is now the rest of the team that is pushing for the fort. And this should be the first one to fall in the game now. Very little chance of the Germans to deal with this. Fort gets destroyed. No way to save this one. Absolutely not. They're trying to burn out the Punisher quickly, but the blue team already moved on towards the middle of the map, trying to get additional damage in here. They might not be able to take the entire thing apart, but, well, they drop it to the minimum 50% of its HP, so that's already a win right there. Evil comes in from the side, looking for a chance, but honestly, it's looking better and better for Team UK. They're going to get a second fort. That's 2 forts down now. Team Germany is losing ground. They're losing it quickly. And they still haven't picked up more kills. One in the second battle for the Punisher was the only one that they were able to get so far. But that's that. So, nearly a level advantage now for Team UK. They're claiming more and more momentum in this game. And they're looking great here. So far, the composition has been working out for sure. 42,000 damage for Junkrat. Top damage dealer in the game is still Hanzo with 46,000. But then, of course, you have Tracer with 35k, basically the same as Sylvanas. Choke point. You gotta be careful. There's a Sanctification, of course, that Tyrell could use. You don't want to go too deep on this. Blessed Shield came out, though. Arrow. Tracer. They still can't get the kill. It is crazy. Blue team slippery as hell. You just can't lock them down, can you? They are always jumping back out. They're always retreating. They know exactly how deep they can go on this. And they are doing a great job here. It's honestly impressive. Perfect timing for them. Every single time that they got to retreat here. So, yeah, we'll see. If they can continue that pattern, then the Germans are in for a rough ride on this. Level 20, oh, that leading experience, it's going to become a problem. Level 20 being available, those Storm Talons are going to be massive, and it's a big window of opportunity for them. At a minimum, they're going to get it fought at the bottom of the map. Best case scenario, they can use it on the objective, which is a bit less likely, but still. So we get the Holy Arena, and they're already orientating themselves towards the bottom of the map. For very good reason, of course. This is where they gotta hit it. Invisible friends, the only type of friends that Brightwing is ever gonna have. The imaginary kind. 120, pretty much a staple. But right now, towards the top right, camp is taken. The reason why they're taking it this early is fairly simple. They know that with level 20 on the side of the blue team, they would now start to invade and steal it away. So they have to take it early. Can't wait for the objective to be announced. So they're forced into that. But the shrine is now activating, and, well, the German team, they need half a level. Blaze is doing it down at the bottom of the map. It's taking the next wave. In the middle, they've also taken out another one. Should have 20 more or less in time. They can move towards the middle for another wave, or try and find it at the bottom of the map. But one more minion wave is needed, and of course, they're running out of time a little bit on all of this. They're going towards the top. Starting to go for Urel here. Yep, that's the experience that they need. Blue team forces the fight though. Holy ground! And there's 20. And they can keep Jojo alive without having to use any of the big tools here. So, good for them. Blessed Shield got upgraded, so did Ancestral. That's going to be a massive tool for them in that battle. This is the one hope for the Germans. They're going to try their best to make that happen. The arrow is in. They need more. Stun follow-up on Tyrael. They try again for Urel here. Hasn't used her ult yet. Obviously, the Holy Arena is still up, and we got the UK pushing at the top lane with the Shaman camp, which is going to be great for them. 30 stacks against 8. The Germans, they're looking for the victory, and they cannot find it. And they're not going to get it here. They give up. They realized they were too far behind. They didn't want to YOLO into that battle. They're looking for a better opportunity, and it allows them to also de-push at the top. It's a cautious choice, but it honestly makes sense. If they lose that fight and then all of a sudden their top and their mid lane both get attacked, they might lose the game here. They realized that they were just too far behind in minion stacks. So now they're trying to get the Punisher destroyed quickly. Urel anchoring the play here. Nicely done. Allows them to sniff out Blaze in his positioning. But yeah, here comes the moment. Once again. Oh, the Ancestral. Nice! Good move from Rhaegar, but it might not be enough. That's the isolation of the doggy, and he is gone. A Holy Arena on the ground, and that's the end of Johanna. Ladies and gentlemen, it seems like we might look at a victory in game number 1 for the blue team. Team UK, 7 kills to 1 on their way to the first one in this best of 3 series. The arrow comes out again, but the Germans are down to 3 players right now. 3 that are trying to defend, make it 2. Sylvanas is gone, and that's the hopes and dreams of Team Germany in game number 1 already shattered, as the UK is looking to end the first game on Infernal Shrines. Going for the core here, they find Blaze, they take him down too, and that is all she wrote. Team UK takes the lead in the best of 3 series on the final match in this second group, in Group B of the Nations Cup. Well done, as we are headed for map number 2. GG. I hope all of you guys are enjoying the Nations Cup. We have an epic event on hand right now, and it's tons of fun. But please keep in mind that events like the Nations Cup, like Meta Madness, the Bounty Cup, and many other tournaments that we've been running on the channel here to support Heroes Esports are only possible through either private supporters or campaigns that we have with partners on the channel. And right now, we have a campaign going on where you can support the channel for free and with a minimum of investor time. All that you gotta do is download Opera GX, which is a browser that has an integrated VPN, has tons of themes and other features that are directly targeted at gamers. But if you download the browser through the link below and install it, maybe watch a video or two on YouTube, watch a live stream, or just play around with it a little bit, that already is enough to support the channel here. I would really appreciate if you could take a few minutes of your time to do exactly that. As I said before, it's absolutely free, doesn't cost you anything, and I've actually seen quite a few people that then even switched over because they prefer the browser to others. Be it as it may, if you want to support the channel, there's an easy way to do it. So thank you very much in advance and enjoy the rest of the show today. Map number 2, Tomb of the Spider Queen. Team UK has taken the lead, and now the Germans need to win 2 in a row if they want to have a shot to make it out of Group B. But for the UK, this is obviously a fantastic situation. They were doing amazing on the first map. They had control from start to finish, basically, made it really difficult for the Germans to engage, and it was honestly their resilience in team fights that just brought them to that point. These guys just didn't die. They were always slipping away, making it impossible for the Germans to catch them, despite all of the CC that was stacked on the red team side. I mean, we had Johanna's level 4 quest completed in basically the first big battle, so you would have expected that to make more of a difference, but it just didn't. They had a lot of stuns, they tried to use them, but they just could not get around the plays that were made with Tyrael's shield, with the sanctification on the other side, and all of the mobility that came in. So now that we're heading into map number 2, Tomb of the Spider Queen, very different one, and yeah, we'll see how this is now going to play out for the two teams here. But as I said, if Germany wants to have another shot, they need to win 2 in a row. Vala gets banned, so does Hogger. Quick reminder that the 10 heroes that were played on the previous map cannot be played again. Those are already out. And right now we get also Maiev banned. By the way, if you watch us on YouTube, also keep in mind that you can become a YouTube member. There's a button under the video player. YouTube members, they currently get access to the games that are uploaded on a daily basis sooner. So actually with the scheduling, they always get like 6-7 hours earlier access to the daily video than anyone else. And I'm also planning to upload a little bit of member-only content. Nothing really too crazy, but if you want to support the stream, there's a bit of an incentive for you, and it's obviously appreciated, especially if you're currently watching this and you hit that like button and subscribe to the channel if you haven't done that yet. Trying, of course, to push all of that out to more and more people that might come back into the Heroes of the Storm scene. So likes and subs always help with exactly that. Help the algorithm to just push the videos out to more people, and who knows, maybe we're going to get a few more Heroes of the Storm fans back into the game. Because, surprisingly enough, I still get comments of people that don't know that the competitive scene is still fully alive here. Anduin and Gul'dan, those are our first picks, as we now get Garrosh and Falstad for the Haka. I actually think this is today, we're in the last series of the day. We had 4 matches today. I believe this is the first time that we got Falstad. It's been banned out the entire time. It's a bit of a weird one on this map, because on the one hand, obviously, you could argue, hey, this is a smaller map, so do you really get enough value out of your global? The answer to this is yes. And the second big advantage for Falstad now, after Blizzard brought the patch in, is that he now has, with this level 1, with a frequent flyer, a quest reward that is just insane. I mean, honestly, it's incredible. And it all procs off minion kills. So you can rotate between the lanes very, very quickly here and stack this up nicely if you do that properly. So we'll have to watch for Falstad and see if he can do that. But that single target damage that he then brings in with the first, second reward is great. And who knows, even maybe it makes it even to the pinnacle reward. 2 of the Spider Queen games sometimes last a bit longer, so here's a shot here. Mirrodin and Leoric, though, for the blue team. With Gul'dan, they also have fantastic wave clear. Leo is going to facilitate that at the bottom of the map, of course. And then our final 2 picks. We still need a support. We still need a little bit more damage. What is Germany walking away with? Orphea as a mage, and we get Whitemane. So, that leaves us with a final pick as we are getting ready for map number 2. Maybe the last map in this group. Group B has been a blast. Lots of fun. But who will potentially advance? Who will take second seed? It is Alarak right now. The final pick for the UK. Ladies and gentlemen, let's go. Team UK is in the lead. They made it on Infernal Shrine, so they have now taken the lead in the series, and this is match point for them. If they take victory on Tomb of the Spider Queen, they take second seed or second place in the group. We got Coscan on Mirrodin, Devs on Anduin, Coffee is going for Gul'dan and starts things off with the Pursuit of Flame. So again, needs to be careful that it doesn't get killed. This quest was changed a little bit. in the last patch. Then it's Sun on Leoric, and then Cine last but not least coming through with Alarak for the blue team, as Team Germany on the right side of the map starts things off with the Evil on the Dehaka as a side lane, Shak on white main, Dexan on Garrosh. We get Sereni with a frequent flyer. This is going to be on in the game, and then Theoden on Orphea. Stacks also for Alarak, by the way. Going on level 1, straight into the extended lightning. And oh, that was nearly a kill on Muradin. Alright, that one got scary for just a second, but he was able to jump out, so good for him. But a very nice move from Dehaka, initially starting things off with the lick, and then Garrosh followed it up with a flip. Falstad, as I said before, is now going to try and rotate between the lanes so that he gets stacks fast. You want to get your first frequent flyer reward as quickly as you can. Helps you to stack additional ones up. And then once you get the second reward and you gain the additional 50% attack damage, you are really starting to become an auto-attack monster. Now, he is still on the squishy side, and if there is a CC chain against him and Alarak comes in, then, of course, this could still be a birdie that gets wrecked very quickly. But, again, Falstad can become an absolute beast in the late game. Quest is already completed on level 1, by the way, from Alarak, so really good job by Cine over here. At the bot lane, we have Dehaka going, oh, the birdie! And he gets out. But yeah, it got close there for a moment. So Falstad still alright, but whew, I got scary for a second. So 20 stacks for him thus far. Gul'dan, obviously, again, also stacking, as I already said. Even-handed blessing for Anduin, by the way, on level 1. And the Germans, they got to be careful here. Alarak gets the hit. And this could be a problem. If this was Muradin rotating over at that point in time, that Stormbolt would have finished him off. But yeah, 28 stacks for Falstad. Again, he's getting them quickly, so that's what he needs to do here. Sitting at 37, and just as they're hitting level 4. So for Alarak, the stacking is now just going to start up. He already completed his first quest and the rewards, and now it's all about negatively charged and to see how much he can actually do with that damage increase. If there's a lot of prolonged battles and brawls, he's going to be very, very happy about that. And yeah, time will tell. Gul'dan is always a fantastic hero to take on this map. The wave clear that he brings is just incredible. There's the flip, and Anduin with the pull. And it's a great counter against Garrosh. Whenever Garrosh makes his move, Anduin can just counterplay that with his trade. And after level 16, he obviously gets the double connect in there. But look at the birdie. 49 stacks already. So yes, Falstad is looking great here. Additional kills would help. They're trying to go for coffee. The drain. And Gul'dan is actually the one that all of a sudden is in trouble. Stormbolt, and Sereni is able to get out. Essentially trying to shield Garrosh a bit here. But this is going to be the first quest reward now for Falstad. So we are now 3 minutes into the game. And Falstad basically has the first quest reward. He's at 59, that kind of counts. The red team hasn't turned anything in yet, though. They have gems, they could go for a turn-in, they have enough for the first Web Weaver phase. But it is the blue team that has delivered 35. Falstad now with the added attack damage. Is it enough for Alarak? And hell yeah, it is. Sereni barreling forward to try and get that kill. That gives him additional stacks. Now they're dropping Leoric, and he's sitting at 74 already. Yes, Falstad is likely going to become a problem for them. UK, they got to deal with this. I mean, it's very early in the game. We haven't had a single objective yet, but there is a lead in experience now for Team Germany. And they go for Muradin, who's trying to jump out, and with the help of Anduin, he is able to escape. But you look over to Falstad, who's now turning in 20 gems, and he's at 83 stacks already, and that's 4 minutes into the game. So he is going to become a beast. Currently sitting at 7,500 damage. Nothing spectacular, but it's more so the minions that are the focus right now. Turn-in has happened, and it is indeed the Germans that get the first set of Web Weavers. Question is just how much damage can they do on structures. Garrosh trying another play here. 2 stacks only for Alarak, by the way, on level 1. And now it is Leo that gets attacked at the bottom of the map. Tries to get away and gets killed, which delivers a few more stacks for Falstad and makes obviously this top lane push a lot more dangerous. The red team is split. We have them with 2 heroes up at the top lane. Orphea is covering everything she can in the middle and has to be very careful here since she's going up against 3. And then down at the bottom of the map, Leo has just now respawned, but it's already damaged the wall significantly. Muradin is now starting to come in, so is Gul'dan, so they're looking for an opportunity to maybe even get a kill here, but at a minimum, defend against the web weavers. Dehaka escaping, no problem for him. Alarak is the one that is still sitting at the top, and here comes the big slap as Orphea is coming in. A little shadow waltz. They go for Muradin. Good damage. Is it going to be enough? Edwin saves the day. There's a lot of plays that they've already had to make to keep everyone alive on the blue team. So it's definitely a different dynamic from what we've seen in game number 1. 3 kills to 0 in favor of Team Germany. And, of course, Falstad on his way to attempt and unlock the second quest reward with 105 stacks. They got the first set of web weavers. Didn't really get too much damage done. Destroyed a couple of walls, but it's not like they dropped the fort. And the blue team still has their own gems, and they just delivered and are now gonna get their first objective as well. There's an early level 10, obviously, for the red team, but the window is small, and we should see the UK get their heroic abilities in time for that fight. Yeah, Falstad helping out in the middle. Top lane not getting pushed by anybody just now. With heroic abilities, we also have Gust, of course, and we got the Internal Feast. There comes level 10. And instantly the picks. That gives us the light bomb, of course. Entomb is ready. Alarak went for Counter-Strike. And the Horrify at the top misses Orphea. Very aggressive play from Gul'dan. But Orphea already moved back, kind of anticipating this. And is therefore not really too affected. Falstad for a second was attacked by Alarak in the middle of the map, but is still doing fine here. And Alarak is not getting a lot of stacks. 5 only. Not a lot going on for him. Which makes this a bit tricky. He's supposed to be one of the big damage dealers for the team. Now they have a shot at Falstad though. Gast is being used and he is able to get out. Good jobs by Sereni. The captain of the German team is doing okay here. That was a very dangerous attack against him and could have honestly just dropped the bird. But he made it. So Falstad still alive. Retreats quickly. We have enough gems in the hands of the German team to get another turn in. So they have a shot here to make that a thing. 14,000 damage now for Falstad. Top damage on the red team side, whereas Team UK has Gul'dan at 18,000 damage for now. Garrosh sharking around, quite literally with a mount. And Falstad just looking for more opportunities to get his stacks up. That second quest reward, I cannot stress how much of a difference that makes. If you have 50 additional auto attack damage, that just hurts. Muradin doesn't like it. Leo doesn't like it. Alarak doesn't like that either. You become a single target damage machine. So, yep, he's going to try and get that, and then, of course, work even more on it to try and get that quest reward, that pinnacle reward. Light bomb. No connect. Yeah, and Falstad is now coming in together with Dehaka. Alarak with the turn-in attempt, though. He has 23, and he's delivering. Alarak delivers 23 gems. Leo wants to chip in another 13. And is able to get all of that done with ease. So the blue team is preventing the Germans from turning in. But they themselves are delivering gem after gem. Top side now. Again, the play. And again, the interrupt. I really like the macro plays that we're seeing from the blue team. On Infernal Shrines, they did a great job. And now here, they're just trying to have the map awareness and the situational awareness to control these spots. And here comes the turn-in. And that means that we're now having another objective for Team UK. They were also threatening a kill on Dehaka, which got shut down by Falstad again, using Gust. He now on 13, went straight for the sustained wins. Even more damage, of course. So, with 166 stacks, the quest reward has been unlocked. And now, Muradin, for example, might have a problem whenever he gets locked down and attacked here. So, yep. Falstad is working towards 300 stacks now. And that is when he just becomes insane. An additional 125, you can imagine how that's going to look. Dehaka, I think this time he's done. And that's 22 gems that they're losing. So this is a massive play by Team UK. That one was big. Falstad is easily defending against the web weavers up at the top. has the auto attack damage here, the single target damage to burn it into the ground. But bot lane, they're losing more hit points on their fort, likely going to lose the entire thing. And Team UK is pushing in the middle. It's a 5 versus 4 right now. And they're doing just fantastic. So, yeah, bottom fort has been destroyed. That's the first structure in the game that gets eliminated, the first major one. Falstad with the Gust as they're attempting to force the fight. There's the flip on Muradin. The auto attack damage is there. Is it going to be enough to drop Cascon though? And the answer is yes, barely. On the final hit, they get the connect, and that is kill number 4. I mean, good for the Germans to get the kills. The problem is, doesn't mean a whole lot if you're not taking any structures out. They lost their bottom fort, and both of the structures in the mid and the top lane are below 50% HP, or just around. So if they can now turn in and get some damage done on their own, that would be a win. But it's getting a little bit tough. Leo is this time the one getting attacked here. Whitemane is turning in, and Falstad wants to deliver. He has 31. So they are able to get themselves a turn in, I would assume, with Theoden delivering the final ones. So it is Webweaver time for the German team. Still ahead in experience. Still slightly ahead. They could build on this. Can they take forts out now too? That's the question. And of course, can they maybe even get a kill or two? Dehaka is pushing the bot lane out. Leo still active at the top. Gonna make it a bit difficult for the top Webweaver. But with Leo now moving in, Falstad dodges out on the Stormbolt, and really nice damage here. Yeah. Doing good work on this. But again, damage is not winning you games. You can help, but you still need to take out structures. You still need to take out some opponents. They have level 16, so that added experience that they were just able to grab here is going to help them. Falstad, again, attacked at the top. They kind of want him, and I totally understand why, but there's a level 16 talent advantage for Team Germany now. Leo goes down quickly, and you can see how it's really difficult for these frontliners now against Falstad. And just now imagine that once that he has his 300 stacks, and he's getting there. You could make a really good argument for the UK screwing up in their draft by letting Falstad through. 12 stacks for Alarak is just not enough to offset this, and 2 forts have now been destroyed. The top and the bot fort have both been eliminated, and the red team is now pressuring the middle, hoping to get damage in on this one as well. 26,000 damage for Falstad, and it's only going to get worse for the blue team. We might go to game 3. It's too early to tell here, but this is a very different dynamic already from what we've seen in game number 1. Muradin engaging, hoping for a chance. Enough gems for a third turn-in, by the way, for Team Germany. Not so much for Team UK. Oh, Leo! And he gets crushed. Leorki is down. Falstad is alive. Big slap as Anduin falls. The crybaby's gone. The pretty boy eliminated by the schoolgirl. 7 kills to 1. Team Germany. They are on a bit of a tear right now. They're looking to take the... to force game 3, and they're now going for the boss at the top. Falstad, 256 stacks. Auto attack damage is right there. Webweaver wave will come in for the red team once again, and they're gonna get a boss to spice it up even further. Blue team, they're just not in a position where they can contest this. Leo just respawned. Anduin isn't even here yet. So yeah, it's an easy one. Gus would have been available if needed too, and the Eternal Feast, of course, for Fear. So even if the blue team would have tried to contest this, unlikely that they would have succeeded. So now it is the top lane push that we're talking about. Mid lane, that should be a given that this Webweaver takes the fort, but it is the keep at the top that is in danger. And Horrify is unavailable for another 10 seconds, but then Gul'dan might be able to use it to split the red team up a little bit. Webweaver in the middle of the map is going to get the structure 100%, and here comes the big damage now from Webweaver plus boss at the top as the red team is pushing. Team Germany, they're looking for weakness. They're looking for opportunities to get kills, to get damage in. Dehaka says hello too, turning it into a 5 versus 4 for a limited amount of time. Leo should rotate topside and will, but this keep is doomed. This keep is just doomed. They can't take this one. It's not happening. They can't defend it. Keep is taken. And 2 misses. Stormbolt connects, but I do not think that they can get there. They're looking for opportunities, but the problem that Cine has on Alarak is that he's also holding 33 gems. You don't want to lose those. The Germans, they're pushing in the middle. There is the efficiency. They're trying to make the big plays while they have a bit of an advantage, but they still need to be careful because they do not have a talent lead yet. Half a level is missing until they unlock 20. And 27 connects. 27 stacks are missing for Falstad, and then he is going to get another 125 damage on the auto attacks. Insanity. Already we're seeing trouble on the blue team to deal with him. And this is only going to be accelerated if he makes it to the pinnacle reward. Alarak has stepped it up a little bit. Has gotten some additional damage. Is now sitting at 27,000. Good stacks on level 4. 48,000 for Gul'dan. Who is actually the only one on the blue team side that hasn't died yet. Nice attempt to go for Garrosh. Not able to make it though. And now we have Storm Talons. Storm Talons are in. And this is where the pain is going to start for the blue team. They need to buy themselves time. There's not enough gems just yet in the hands of Team Germany to get another turn in. They are getting closer and closer to another set of Web Weavers, but they don't have it yet. But they can be aggressive. Try and push for another keep. And honestly, they need one more. They need 10 more gems, and they have enough for another Web Weaver wave. So Team UK is, yeah, they're having a very rough time here now. And Falstad, he is with the next minion wave going to complete his pinnacle reward. And then, well, good luck, Muradin. I don't envy him at all. Would not want to trade places there. So that's another 125 damage, obviously also applicable to structures. So Falstad on the side lane is going to rip you a new one too. He is a monster. He's a beast. Squishy still. If Alarak gets a good connect, for example, maybe that Entomb on 20 connects, then they can still pluck the bird and drop him into the KFC basket. But at least for the time being, it is the Germans that are in the driver's seat. They want game 3. And again, this is an important match for both of these teams. If you're taking third place in the group, you are out. Take second, and you at least have a shot in the last chance qualifier. 40,000 damage on Afia, 33,000 for Falstad. Gul'dan still top dog with 53k. And here come the Web Weavers. Blue team, they should be able to get to level 20. Leo is now pushing out the waves at the top, so they should be able to get to level 20. But the Germans are still aiming for another keep at the bottom of the map. 34 stacks now for Alarak. He is getting there. I mean, he is really working them. Went for the hasty bargain. Haunt. Yeah, Falstad kind of in the corner and realizes that if he's staying too close to Gul'dan, he's going to be in trouble. So he simply heads out, gets attacked, and even with a hasty bargain, they can't isolate him enough. Alarak has to retreat. Falstad's alive. Horrify is being used. They're using everything they have here, but they're just not getting a kill. Instead, Falstad flies in, tries to get the angle on the gas. They lose Garrosh, but they also drop Muradin. Now they go for Leoric, and Falstad, he has that single target damage now, and it's helping them to get the hits in. They kill both of the frontliners. It's 2 kills against 9. Web Weavers destroyed the keep in the middle. At the top, they're pushing for the core. At the bottom of the map, another keep is falling, and Team Germany is on their way to a potential victory in game number 2 of this best of 3 series, forcing the final map. The core is already losing hit points. Alarak trying to defend. It's only a 3 versus 4, but the core is falling way too fast. Catapults are dishing out damage, and it's the team there too. They lose Dehaka. It doesn't matter anymore. We are going the distance, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to game number 3. We are going to the final map in Group B. It's actually happening. We're going to the final map. Team Germany, they were able to decide Tomb of the Spider Queen in their favor. Now that we're going into game 3, we have 20 heroes that are unavailable. In total, Heroes of the Storm, as if I'm not mistaken, 89 heroes currently. So that means that 20 of those are now gone, leaving us with 69 to still pick from. Plenty, obviously, to go for proper meta compositions. But this is for all the marbles right now. You gotta be careful here. It is actually the blue team that decided that they want to have map choice. So they left first pick, first ban for the Germans, who immediately eliminate Vala. apparently no interest on their end to get Vala as a first pick. So I'm already curious to see what they want as their first choice here. Hogger gets banned out too. Whichever team loses here takes third in the group and is out of the tournament. Second seed still gets a shot in the last chance qualifier. That's what they're fighting for here. And it's going to be a tough battle. But the series, it deserved a third map. Let's be honest about it. And I'm very happy that it's exactly what we're getting. And Ubarak, he gets eliminated too. And here's the Maiev ban. I want to see that first pick. What are they valuing this highly? They decided against Vala. Vala with an arrow build is mega powerful over here. And they just said like, nah, we don't want her. Might have even forced a ban on Vala on the blue team side. But they decided like, yep, that's not what we're going to go for. So instead, what is the choice going to be here? What is Germany valuing? They're going for an ETC first pick. Now, ETC is good on Battlefield of Eternity. You get nice power slides on, like, pushing somebody into an immortal stun or simply just locking them into a stun as the immortal is spawning is always kind of neat. And a lot of teams and players can operate around this extremely efficiently. But this is definitely not a first pick that I saw coming here. Diablo and Liming on the other side. So when it comes to the poke damage against the immortal, Liming is obviously strong in that slot. We get the Panda for the side lane, a very evil Panda from the looks of it. And, yeah. Immortal damage? So far, not too worried about it from the looks of it. So, what is it gonna be? Right now? Greymane. Okay, that's a good choice. It's a little bit of a zoo over there that we currently have. Look at Team Germany. We get some beef, a panda, and then a wolf. But still, locking in their front line that heavily. Let's see what we're going to get here. It's a little more traditional what we get from Team UK. They came in with Liming, for example, so we're going to get that endless poke from outside. And she's nice, because, again, you unleash the combos over and over again against the Immortal, and the opponent has to make a choice whether they want to let that damage through, and then slowly you're winning the Immortal, or if instead they're throwing somebody in the path of the missiles, of the objectives there, and then you are losing hit points, obviously, and eventually your team will be softened up enough that the opponent can engage and try and get those kills. Thrall and Lucio coming through. With Thrall is always a bit of a question mark on how well he can stack. His first quest reward is already nice, but if he's able to get, for example, the second one, then you know you're in real trouble, because that damage accelerates quickly. But the red team, final two choices. We get Medivh and Deckard Cain. It's Medivh, baby. We're getting a Medivh combo in Game 3. And here comes Sonya for the triple front line. Alright, the stage is set. We're going into the final map of the series, ladies and gentlemen. Let's see what Team UK and Team Germany can pull off here. It is Battlefield of Eternity. It's the final map in the series. This is for all the marbles. On the left, Cascon for Team UK. On Diablo, we got Vented Sun on Sonya, Devsh on Lucio, Coffee on Thrall, and Cine on Li Ning. Over on the right side of the map, we are actually looking at Team Germany with Theoden on Greymane. We got Sereni playing the Portal Mastery with Medivh, Dexan on ETC, The Evil on Chen, and Shak is playing Deckard Cain. And we actually have an adjustment. Thrall is coming in with Crash Lightning over here. Not something that we have seen a lot, but he is part of the 4-man right now. So we're going to get a lot of damage in from him. And yeah, we'll see how much he can do with that. Is he going to be able to complete those quests? Is he able to really have a huge impact in the game? He could have technically tried to go up on the solo lane against Chen. That's always a nice target where you can stack Maelstrom weapon pretty reliably. But with Sonya in their lineup, they have Sonya side laning. And she's currently up against 2. So the Panda and Wolf duo is doing pretty well. The Panda is essentially dealing with Sonya, and then you have Greymane just getting attacks in on structures, and that is a lot of damage on that wall. Now, it's obviously a numbers advantage that you're running on that lane, which means that down at the bottom of the map, Team Germany is experiencing a similar situation where they are outnumbered and they are taking damage too. Makes it a little bit easier also to keep Thrall low, because he's up against only 3 heroes. So if you want to deny him stacks on his level 1, that is one way to go about it. But you still got to make sure that you're at least pressuring on the at the same pace that your opponent does. And so far, they're doing well. Germany is destroying the top wall completely. They added a bit of a macro element to all of this and not just reliant on their team fight prowess. Coffee with the shittiest mount in the game, by the way. Absolutely disgusting. This thing is an attack on the eyes. We should either sue the teams or Blizzard for implementing this in the first place, because if that is not an assault on your eyes, then I don't know what is. So if you walk away and your eyes are bleeding after you're watching a game, it's not because of the plays that you've seen or anything of the sorts. It's just because of the mount that has been used here. So it's also unacceptable as a player to take this. I mean, there is an epic and very unique alternative. But yeah, coffee, I'm a little bit disappointed. May your coffee be strong in the morning, but apparently it's still a bit tasteless. Down at the bottom of the map, camp is now being claimed as well. The blue team in full force, more or less, with the exception of Li Ming, pressuring at the top lane, trying to go for the Panda, outnumbering it quite significantly. And there's the level 4 talent. That gives us also the Insatiable, after we got Viciousness. I mean, a lot of the talents that we have for Greymane are generally named. You would normally associate those words more with porn titles than with Big Bad Wolf, I suppose. But hey, if Blizzard went for it, I mean, it says probably a lot about the developers over there, but I wanna just noticing things. A nice kill though. So we got the engage with Medivh, and that's the problem when a portal pops up next to you. We have first blood now as Sonya gets dropped. So very nicely done by Medivh and the Panda. And there is the first objective of the game. Both of the teams, of course, with their Shaman camp now on the map. One stack for Thrall so far. And now it's time to go for the big party and see which team is able to take control of the first Immortal in the game. Greymane, he's going to be their big damage dealer on this. 13 stacks. Ooh, as the pause kicks in. 13 stacks that we're getting for Medivh with the Arcane Rifts. Something to also point out here. And well, while we have the pause in, quick reminder everybody that we also have some merch, not only for the Nations Cup, we actually have some special Nations Cup merch, but also the hot butter through cheese merch is still in the shop. And we have some oldies but goldies like the Fruit Fly collection and also merch for the Heroes gaming community. So if you haven't checked that out yet, if you are maybe not even aware of it, then you should check out the description. There's a link right there. We also have, as I'm not tired of saying, because I still find it hilarious, a hot butter through cheese apron that makes, as we all know in gamer circles, all your food that you make with it taste 10% better. Guaranteed, Kappa. Now, with the first attack right there, it seems like the red team is the one that is nibbling on the hit points first and tries to go for the halftime show. But already there's Lucio trying to set up the blue team for a potential kill. Medivh with all of that vision. Medivh has to be a bit careful how he engages into this, because he's sitting at 15 stacks. You don't want to lose those. That might not be an insane amount, but it's still, I would be very uncomfortable engaging that aggressively into the opponent's composition when I haven't had my quest completed yet on him. So right now, there's the hit. Diablo gone. Greymane with a kill, and Team Germany follows it up with a second. And that is disaster for Thrall. He's losing a lot here. So he is losing rewards not only on his level 1, but also his level 4. Reset on both to 0, as Theoden is again pausing the game. That's the German team that is seemingly having some trouble here. They were able to get 3 kills in total now. That helps them in experience. They are closing in on level 7. And they're doing well on the halftime show too. But still, this is going to be a bit of a weird one. So hopefully everything can be resolved quickly on the side of the Germans. Not quite sure what the problem is here. Doesn't seem like anybody disconnected. But at least for now, they're doing well. Alright, that was one of the more interesting bugs or problems that occurred. So apparently the issue for ETC is that after the initial pause that was used, he just used his skills on loop without any buttons being pressed. So this seems to be fixed now since they haven't paused it again. But that is one of the odder problems that I've ever heard about. Seems to be fixed right now. Obviously, Team UK is now bringing the fight back to them. And it's actually a pretty tight race. It's a lot tighter than I expected it to be. with the blue team doing way more damage. But, to be fair, Team Germany still gets the Immortal. But the UK team, they are fighting tooth and nail right now. They won the first map, then lost out on Tomb of the Spider Queen. But of course, they do not want to lose this series. They are doing what they can to bring this back. And they're not too far behind. It's not even an entire level. So they should be able to defend against the Immortal at the bottom of the map quite nicely. The biggest problem is still that Thrall, in order to have a big impact in this game, needs to stack. He needs to stack his level 1, he needs to stack his level 4. And him dying and resetting both back to 0 is an issue. He went for the Ancestral Wrath now on level 7, but if Coffee isn't able to get proper stacks in, then his value is going to be limited. Now, Medivh obviously is in a similar spot. You don't necessarily need to complete that baseline quest, but it's always nice to have. It is still boosting your hero quite significantly. Having that cooldown reduction is awesome. And the damage dealt, of course, too. He's now at 29, so a little bit more, and they're going to be able to pull that off. Apparently, they didn't see the rotation towards the top coming, so that's Sonya gone. And with her eliminated, this is giving them full control over the lane. The blue team might have been able to stop the attack at the bottom of the map and save that fort, but at the top it's a different story. This is where we're now seeing Germany taking full advantage of the situation and dropping the fort. The blue team is trying to just counter pressure at the bottom of the map, but there are already defenders in play. And yeah, oh, careful Medivh. I said it before, I say it again. You are not at a point where you can afford dying. ETC is gone, first kill for Team UK. And Medivh at 38 stacks. One more connect and he's done with his reward. 39! And yeah, it gets close. They're defending well down here. Not everything, I mean there's still damage, but Medivh is now completing the quest, so that's good news for him. Diablo also fully stacked, and well, he's going to lose those stacks instantly. Yeah. Fully reset right now, back down to 0. Loses everything. So, that's 5 kills. Early level 10, and they're attacking the next 4. Just getting a couple of auto attacks in. Doesn't even need too much here, but that is already worth it. So, we have nearly heroic abilities available for the UK too. Still a bit of control over the portals here. That, by the way, also is another reason why ETC was taken early. Because if you are going for Medivh, and this was always the plan to use him, then you want to shut down any kind of portal control that your opponent could get. Now, Lucio has some, and you can argue others as well, but ETC is a great tool against portals. Insta-interrupt from Li Ming as the mosh pit gets used here. Sundering thrown out too, but they're still able to get the kill on Diablo. Sonya leapt in. Oh, Lucio eats that final bullet from Greyman and is now dead as well. And it's another power slide that seals the fate of Sonya. Guys, this is a problem for the UK. The blue team, they had such a fantastic start into the series with the victory in game number 1. But now they have a real problem at their hands in game 3. They are losing ground. And they're losing it quickly. 8 kills to 1. And it doesn't look great. Now, they lost 1 fort. They are going to lose the second one now. Always assuming that the entire objective is going to be claimed. So far, it's only the halftime show. There's a lot of damage coming from the blue team on the Immortal. And again, this isn't over yet. They can still win their team fight. But the gap in experience has now been widened. And here comes Germany once more. The counter pressure done at the top by Sonya. She's working the damage in as we speak. ETC looking for more opportunities here. Here comes the Keck. Sundering being used. They're engaging into the battle once more as Shuck drops his ult. Stay a while and get wrecked. Trying to set up a few more kills as Diablo is low. The ley line misses everything here as the team falls back to try and tap that fountain. The UK boys are instantly on the objective again, trying to burn it down quickly, and they barely miss out on the Immortal. 1,500 hit points remaining, so it's going to be a small shield, but it should be enough to push through the bottom of the map. Yeah, it's tough. And of course, at some point in this series, your mind is going to start playing tricks on you now. You were in the lead, you were in a position where you thought, guys, maybe we can finish this with a 2-0, and now this is all turning against you. can be quite difficult to get yourself into a proper mindset where you simply shrug that off, ignore it, and play the best you can in the situation. 22,000 damage now for Medivh, top damage dealer actually on the red team, together with Chen. Greymane is trailing a little bit, but he's of course the one that was just chunking Immortals down all day, every day, and structures. So he's been doing a lot. They're working the wall at the bottom of the map. The keep is going to take a little bit of damage too. Diablo gets caught by the old man, telling shitty stories again. Jump from Sonya as she engages. There's the lightning breath. They're trying for the kill. And with the Immortal gone, it's time for Germany to slowly back off, even with the level 13 talent advantage that they're now running here. 9 stacks for Thrall on level 1. And we got 5 for him on his level 4. So he needs one more connect, and he's going to be fine here. But ooh, tough times for them. But again, they're doing what they can. They have Sonya consistently pushing through the top lane. She's been doing great. She's been attacking the Immortal too. They have Li Ming, of course, with added damage. There's a lot of CC that they can run with Sundering, with Leap on Sonya's end. And if Thrall is able to get good damage in later on in the game, they can bring this back. They can start that comeback here. The important part is that they're not too far behind in experience. They're still holding on to that, and they get level 13. Chen is trying to steal the camp and does successfully. Now they're moving in for Sonya, and she's dead too. Germany picks up another kill. 9 kills to 1. The quest completed at least for Thrall. At the bottom of the map, yeah, we got the camps facing off against each other here, but it's another objective that gets announced. Sonya will be back in time. It will be on level 13 talents for both of the teams. But, whew, it's gonna be a tough one. This is essentially really where the UK have to make a stand. They gotta win this one. They can't fall farther and farther behind here. Losing keeps at this point. You gotta do something. They haven't destroyed a fort yet. They're close at the bot lane, but the Shaman is taken out early. They get the lead on this, though, as they're now moving in. Thrall, by now, on 21,000 damage. Is not too shabby. He's actually the second highest damage dealer on the team. But Team Germany is now moving in for defense, trying to shut them down here. Slide on Lucio, and Greymane. Whoa, he wanted the kill, just missed out on it. There is the ley line. Well, they're trying to go for Sonya instead of focusing on Diablo here. Choke point, though. Could see another Mosh attempt, too. But Sonya's the first one to fall. Diablo's in trouble. Mosh pit in the back. And it's the front line that gets murdered again. And that's 5 and 4 deaths now on Diablo and Sonya. Yeah, it's a tough game for the UK. They're in a rough spot here. 11 kills to 1. And over on the left, the 3 remaining survivors. Li Ming hasn't died yet a single time. She's at 28,000 damage. Still going to try and work that in. But, of course, it's going to be a halftime show victory now for Team Germany. 12 stacks for Thrall. It's not crazy. For his first quest reward, he needs 15. After that, it's going to be more damage. But he is just not there yet. And that's a problem. Halftime show over. The Immortal won by Germany again, and that is now 10,000, 11,000 hit points on that shield. So this thing is getting stronger and stronger. Bigger shield, and of course scaling into the late game. And to make matters worse, Team Germany has now picked up level 16 talents. That gives them Lord of his Pack. We get Temporal Flux, Showstopper in, so big upgrades for them too. And Medivh is just confirming position on the blue team over and over again. Sonya's pressuring the bottom of the map. If she stays long enough, she could even take the fort. Red team is not really too interested in that. They want the keep. And they're going for it. Top side with 11 kills to 1 and level 16 talent advantage with the help of the Immortal. That's what they're aiming for. They're going to be looking for kills here. They're going to look for portals by Medivh to try and set those up. Wall gets destroyed very quickly. But thus far, at least, the defense is not too bad for Team UK. But now it's all around the structure here. A little bit of a staring contest over here by Sonya and Chen. Sonya is going to maybe try and make the play. Here comes the ley line. Diablo, he has the stacks now. Keep is about to go down. Oh, Sonya with a big jump, but not enough value. Lightning breath, and they all disengage with the portal they already had. what they wanted. They got the keep. They got the keep, and Thrall is still shy 1 stack before he gets his quest reward. I mean, I'm highlighting it so often just because it is going to help them to get some added damage through, and they need kills. Well, I guess they might be able to get one here. There's no ult up for Chen. He should fall. He should die. He is going to die. The evil has been defeated. 2 kills. It's only the 2nd kill, by the way, for the team in blue. So we're level 16. We now got Thunderstorm as well. Thrall is following up on his level 1 choice. They should not really engage into these fights. One way to get Team UK back into all of it is to take battles that you shouldn't take. It's a 4 versus 4. Granted, Sonya's at the top. They know it. They had vision. But giving that fort up is not going to really cost them anything. So, yeah. Fort is down. And this is actually the first big structure that the UK eliminated. And here comes the portal for Sonya. And she is able to jump out. Has to use leap, but quickly disengages. They didn't want to risk anything as the immortal spawns. If you lose Sonya here, you lose the halftime show. And it's a disaster. 16 minutes in. It's a tough one. It's a tense series. It's a very, very tough series for both of the teams. But the red team obviously is going to be very happy with the situation they find themselves in right now. But they haven't won it yet. The blue team is not going to give up on this. And all they need is a kill or 2. Kill or 2 at the right moment in time, and you are starting your comeback. You are getting your objective, and you're making the plays. Greymane is trying to defend at the bottom of the map. There's a Shaman camp at the top that Sonya is now aiming for. And it's time to go. 46,000 damage by Greymane. 34,000 by Chen. Here comes the fight. Thrall nearly stunned out by this. Nearly locked into the immortal stun. Li Ming firing away, poking, as she should. Same, of course, for Thrall. Softening them up slowly and steadily. They need resets for Li Ming in that fight. That would be the best case scenario. But she gets attacked. The portal came out, and insta aggression against Sinion Li Ming. Lucio helping out, and the blue team resets, disengaged, and resets to move in on the immortal once more. They nearly have the halftime show here. They're playing the smart, tactical. Quest completed for Thrall, at least for now. More damage from him. Sonya, on the other hand, in the corner. Has to be careful and is able to escape, even though the lane line knocks her down just a little bit longer. Quest completed for Thrall on level 1 out 2, or at least the quest reward is in, not full completion. Can, of course, still lose stacks, but they are now in a bit of a better spot, and it's actually helping them. The Germans, they're trying to flip the script, though. They're getting aggressive themselves now. They're realizing that simply defending is not going to help them here. They're not getting the kill. They were trying to bait the opponent in a little bit, and it's not working. So instead, they're being aggressive themselves, especially since the blue team was already starting to disengage a bit. The Evil might have to use his own ult here. Sundering, and a good shield for Medivh. Sereni keeping everyone in play. Level 19 versus 18. Too far away from level 20 talents. Halftime show victory now secure. Team UK, they might just get their first immortal here. They might just be able to start their comeback right here, right now. If it comes down to a race, they're going to take it. Thrall gets attacked. They want him. And here comes the ley line. Nice ult from Chen. Just putting them into a corner here. The lightning breath from Diablo, but he gets targeted and drops. The same for Li Ming. It's a double kill for the Germans. Diablo will be back in a second. They still have a shot. They could still try and get in position and poke, but Greymane has now moved over towards the Immortal and is slowly starting to take it out as the rest of the German team is defending. They are closing on level 20 talents as well, and if they get the push with the Immortal and Storm talents, then Team UK might just be out of this. They need something. They know it too. They're poking continuously as best as they can here. Thrall now, top damage dealer on the blue team with 48,000 damage. He has lots and lots of poke, but it's not enough to secure them a kill. And Greymane, he's finishing the job. Greymane is finishing the job. They're taking it. They're taking the next Immortal. Team UK is just not able to lock that down. They had such a good start into it, but now they are up against an opponent that runs a level 20 advantage over them with a full level gap. Medivh cheating as usual on level 20. We got the Hunter's Blunderbuss for Greymane, and then respect the elderly for the old geezer trying to tell stories again. 13-2, the kill count. Team UK, they need a small miracle here. They're going to lose their last keep. That's a given. The question is just simply how much more are they going to lose? Can they get to level 20? Can they defend here? Can they force the late game? That's the question. Leyline is already out. They want Thrall, and they can't get him. Not that easily. Sonya leaping out just before she gets murdered, but the keep is gone. And now it's only the core that remains. Half a level for level 20 for the blue team, but it is so far away. It might be 3 levels. It doesn't matter. They won't be able to have it for this one. But they defend against the Immortal quite nicely. And they are actually threatening a kill on Medivh. If Li Ming gets a reset here, that would be amazing. The core is down to 87%, but they're holding. They're holding. They're going for ETC, and they still can't get that kill. What about Deckard Cain? Medivh finally falls. Deckard Cain gets stunned into the corner. It's a triple, baby. All of a sudden, we have momentum for the UK. They drop Greymane. What are they going to do? Are they aiming for the bottom keep now? Chen is going to have his own ult back in just 7 seconds and can buy them a little bit of time. But that is amazing for the UK. They got a shot here. The question is, what are they going to do with it? And they go for mercenary camps. No! I mean, honestly, I don't know if they can go for the keep, but it is such a long death timer now on the side of Team Germany that you would have thought they had a shot to break through and take the keep out. Instead, they're playing it a bit slow. They're going for a few camps and they're trying to steal them away. They have level 20 now too. But boy, oh boy. I would have loved for them to try and at least open the wall up. Open the wall and then go for the keep. You can still retreat and take those camps on the way back out. They will get a fort, of course. But I think they could have gotten more here. I really, really think they could have gotten more in this situation. We got 2 Blinks, Hellgate and Windrush. Thrall now on 24 stacks, by the way. So he is starting to bring more in. So having the additional bounce and prioritization is in reach. Absolutely in reach, but here comes the Immortal. And this Immortal might win the game. Especially, I mean, if the Germans take it, it has to, right? There's no keep standing anymore for Team UK. They also pushed out both lanes. So even with the catapult pressure against them being immense right now, they don't have to fear. They got mercenary camps on each lane, and they pushed them out very far. So they have lots of time here. They're not going to be under pressure, even with this being a 23-minute game already. So off we go. Here's the chance. Here's the shot. Can they bring this back? Is this going to be the moment where they start their comeback? Diablo's not stacked yet. Portals are popping out. Instant control attempts by the blue team. And Sonya is looking at that Immortal. Camps on the lane. That's the big advantage right now. Here comes the Hellgate. Hellgate comes in. They're trying to push them back. Quest on level 16 again done for Thrall, so he gets the added advantages. But the bullet on Diablo. And he is dead again. Diablo gets killed. Kill number 14 for Germany. Sonya jumps out and gets hit. The mosh pit, baby. It's a mosh. And even with Li Ming's massive damage, it is Sonya that falls. And the red team can walk out. Cine, though, nearly taking advantage of the clustering and getting the kill. And now getting the actual reset. That is the end of ETC. It's a 4 versus 3 as they're tapping the fountain. And Team UK, they are pushing for the halftime show. Even with them losing more heroes, they are now the ones trying to dish out the damage here. Big plays, massive plays from the UK. But again, they are at a numbers disadvantage. And Thrall, whoa, uses his 20 to jump out of the fight. He would have died here. He would have died. And that would have, of course, cost him additional stacks on his level 1. Halftime show, by the way, not quite there yet. It hasn't been locked in. It is the Germans that are taking it. The Germans come in, whacking away, and 25 minutes into our final map in this best of 3 series, it is Team Germany that takes the halftime show victory. It's a small margin, but it's there. Diablo's now coming back. ETC isn't. ETC isn't here yet. 5 more seconds. It's all about the damage right now. Greymane trying it. Cascon, he wants to slow it down. He wants to slow it down. They need to try and take it. But the defense, Sundering, they want the kill before ETC comes out. And Greymane is dead. Greymane is dead. Can they at least take the objective? That's the question. Deckard Cain with a play. They're all retreating. It's so close. Chen, ETC, they're all on the run, but we have mad catapults now. Guys, we're 25 minutes in. Look at the catapult pressure here. That is 70, 60, 50% on that core, and they still try and take the Immortal, and the Germans pull it off. Germany goes for the Immortal, and they take it. They're down Greymane. Here's the chase. The blue team, they want to have the hits right now. If they can get multiple kills, they would just try to push, I suppose. Now they have to defend against the Immortal. Germany got the objective. They defended, so to say. And the core is falling. No, it's the Winions. The catapults take it. Germany takes second place, and the UK is eliminated from Group B.